And while it did provide fodder for trash talk, there was some fear behind why Cormier brought this up. He didn't want Jones to fail a test or do anything to miss the card. Despite holding the belt, Cormier, in the eyes of many, needed this fight as much as, if not more than Jones. He still faced the uphill battle of proving himself, and people weren't shy about reminding him of it.
When you look at DC, is he a legitimate champion? Is that the real belt over there?
Fuck no. He never beat me. He never beat me. So the belt that he has over there, it's an imaginary belt. I messed up outside of the octagon. I got that taken away from me. But the guy's never beaten me. In order to be the champion, you have to beat the champion. He can fight all the other light heavyweights that he wants. He can beat every light heavyweight until he beats me. That belt over there is a piece of shit.
As for Jones, he also just wanted to regain the belt and move on. For all he said, he didn't seem to have any more issues with DC other than that's who he had to beat. And on July 29th, he did just that. Jones stopped Cormier in the third round, and with a second win, it felt like everyone could finally get past this. Joe Rogan interviewed DC in the octagon immediately following the loss, and fighting through tears, he put the rivalry to bed.
If he wins both fights, there is no rivalry, so I don't know.
Jones spoke about how tough it was to see Cormier like that after all he'd gone through, and praised the work that he'd done for the sport. Cormier congratulated Jones for the win on Instagram, and while no one was shying away from a third fight, even Jones said DC didn't need it in order to be proud of the career he's had. And that's the end of the beef. Definitely nothing else. Why are you still filming?
Just read the script.
Less than 2 weeks after the rematch, Jones was flagged for a potential doping violation from a test sample leading up to the fight. Once both samples returned positive for an anabolic steroid, he was again suspended, and the belt returned to Cormier as the result was changed to no contest. DC offered his support and encouraged everyone to do the same instead of jumping on Jones. As the cycle repeated once again, Cormier's attitude seemed to finally shift. Whether it was because he was getting close to 40 years old or he was tired of sweating what he did, he spoke about not needing to justify what he'd done. He was happy and secure with it all, and while the idea of a third fight against Jones clearly was on his mind, he stopped viewing it as a necessity. The tables had turned where Jones now needed the rematch more. He wanted to prove that he could beat Cormier straight up with no asterisk. He sought out Cormier on Twitter and took every chance he got to call him out in interviews, but since Jones was suspended, Cormier had the luxury of not worrying about him. That also meant he could speak openly about how highly he thought of Jones, speaking of his struggles more like a father than a troll, which, when in reference to a grown man you're not related to, might be one of the greatest troll jobs you could pull off, but it's hard to tell intentions with these two. Cormier added a second belt to his collection, doing something that Jones had never done, and while filming UFC Tonight on Fox Sports, he spoke about how that essentially allowed him to look in the rearview mirror at a fighter still waiting to be reinstated.
I'm the UFC double champion, right? I have